Okay, so for step 9, we're going to build the front dampers. And you can see here, I've got the E-clips, the O-ring, the piston, the shaft guide, rod guide, adjuster, and then you've got the front piston rod. These parts come pre-built, so I have to disassemble them to start this process. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put on the E-clips and put on that F piston. So I'll just get the camera set up and we'll do that now. Okay, so first off, you can see the little markings on the piston itself, and we need to put on the E-clips, which it's not my favorite thing in the world to do, I will say that. I'm getting better, but it's just not something I really enjoy doing. But we're getting there. I just want to make sure that that is turned around just a bit more. There we go. Oops, and there you have it. It's gone flying. So let's get this other one on. There we go. So there is the first E-clip on, and what we'll now do is we grab the, well, actually that just snapped a bit more into place, and I know that's what it ends up doing. So you can see there it's nicely inside the grooves. So then we grab the F piston, which is this one here, and you can see the holes in the piston. And then we grab that other E-clip that popped off, and I'm going to sit it on the base if I can. It's so small now too. And we've got to get it on there. It's not the easiest thing to do either. Don't know if you can see it in there, but we've done it. So it's on. So there is the piston rod and that piston together with the two E-clips, of which now we're going to take that cylinder, undo it, and we're going to undo the other part too, because that comes off as well. And then this is going to go down there, and then we're into this next part of the step. So we're going to have to put some oil onto the O-ring, and it's a silicone O-ring, and a lot of the times they're a little bit you know, they're rubbery kind of material. Not, I guess I wouldn't say rubbery, but they're not the clear plastic or clear silicone. They're more that I don't know, I want to call it rubbery material, but that's the part there, the O-ring. So then we grab the other MA23, which is this little white piece, stick that over top. Then you've got this brass shaft, which is kind of, it says it's a rod guide. That's now going to slip over top of that. Then we grab this part, which is the other half of the cylinder that we originally took off. I'm going to stick that back on and screw it in. Then you can see that that part is going to screw into here. And here you'll notice it says don't over tighten, we need this to be at 20 centimeter gap. Now I've said this before. I know a lot of people have different opinions on it, but I'm loving the fact that I have these shock pliers now, because I don't have to worry about damaging the piston rod, because I can just grab this nice and tight. And we'll stick this on and start turning it. Just make sure that it's level. There we go. And I'm just going to keep screwing this in. Now, you'll notice there seems to be a bit of a gap and it shows there's some threading. Well, I've already done one of these. And you can see that the threading is almost at the end. But if you do this on a ruler, you'll notice that it is at the 20 centimeters. So the diagram's not totally truthful because it's showing some of the threading, but you're going to have to go well past that to get the 20 centimeters. So I will continue to do this and screw it in so that I nicely get it to the 20 centimeters. And then that's the end of that step. So we'll move on to step 10, which is putting in the damper oil. So for step 10, the damper oil, we're going to fill the cylinder with the oil and get all of the air bubbles out of there, just to make sure that this is going to run smoothly. So you can see that we've got the oil seal, which are these little rubber boots. So let's go ahead and fill this up, clear the oil, and then we'll put on the rubber boot and then attach the top cylinder head. And then that part will be finished. So you can see where we're at from last time. So what we need to do is pull this out and fill the cylinder with oil. Just like that. I think we've got enough in there. Yeah, it's right at the top. So then what you're going to do is just slowly push up and down. Because essentially what we're doing, and just clear what you can, is getting out all of the air bubbles from pouring that in, because obviously air gets in there. So we're just slowly moving that up and down, and you can see, and of course that's why there's holes in that little those cylinder pieces there. What were they called again? Oh, just the pistons themselves. So we're just trying to move up and down and get all of the air out. And you can see that when it pushes to the top, no new air bubbles are being created. So we should be fine. So if I pull this all the way back, all the way back down to the bottom, and push it back up, we should be fine. So at this stage, it's saying take that cylinder or the rubber boot, put it on top. You're going to see it's going to spill everywhere, which is what it's saying is going to happen. And then we just grab paper towel to clean it off a bit. Get it down, grab that top part, and that's going to screw it down tight. And you can see that the oil's still coming out, which is fine because you just have to clean it off. So that means this shaft is now nice and smooth going up and down. And you can see it wants to kick it out once you've got it all in, which just means that the oil shocks just provide quite a bit more dampening than just regular springs. So that's cool. That part is done. So both those shocks are complete. So we can now move on to step 11, which is attaching some of the hardware that so that we can attach it to the chassis, but also adding the springs. So I'll just grab all the parts we need and we'll get started on that step.